All right, it's time for another For All podcast. Are you ready, Zena? You're going to be on the program with Camille, and you're going to be adopted today. All right? So let's get going. Let's roll, folks. We're going down to the For All podcast with Zena. Come on, girl, this way. Let's go. I'll hit the light too. In here, quick, in here. Come. Let's go. And here we go, episode 34. Welcome to the For All podcast, everybody. My name is Eric Keaton. I have to put on these glasses because I have to make sure I'm only seeing one of me instead of two. Plus, dragging around Zena. She is a handful, but we are going to get her adopted today on the For All podcast special episode. It is our preview for the big day of giving, one of our two huge fundraisers here at SPCA Tampa Bay. It all happens tomorrow very early in the morning with a lot of great stories working with our partners and our sponsors. Of course, if you don't want to wait to donate right now. Scan the QR code or just go to our website, spcatampabay.org. Your donation helps our animals and wildlife that we care for every day. Now, we need help to spread the word and spread the Humanimality, and we have a special guest that we just met this past week or past 2 weeks. She is Samantha. She has 7 gazillion or million followers on TikTok. You know her as Snerixx. Samantha, welcome to the For All podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we are so excited to have you. And the rats.
Yes, of course. The stars of the show here.
So let's talk a little bit and introduce our audience how we all met, not you and I, but SPCA Tampa Bay, you and the rats. It's kind of like a love song story from Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Maybe not so much, but please introduce us to the rats and how did you find SPCA Tampa Bay?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Tampa. I've been here a very long time, and I had rats as a kid, and as an adult, I decided I needed to go ahead and jump back into that and grab some more friends. And so I had 2, and unfortunately, they are very prone to tumors. And I did have one of them go through surgery, and she did not make it. So then I was left with one, which they're kind of running around behind me here. I don't know if you can see who's who, but so I was kind of a mess. I was looking around trying to find a friend for her because they do have to live in pairs. And through my tears and through me being an absolute mess and listening to all my Taylor Swift songs to, feel better, my friend Sophie reached out to me and she was like, hey, the SPCA of Tampa has 3 girl rats right now. Maybe give them a call. So I literally that day called you guys, asked about them. The volunteer at the actual adoption center showed me right where they were. She let me meet them, and it was just a match made there. So everything was really straightforward. It was all in the same day. I actually got this carrier from the SPCA as well because I just showed up. I was like, I'm here for the rats. I don't have any way to get them home, and I live an hour away. But yeah, so there was supplies there that was really awesome that I could use, and it took about a week and a half, but I got them to meet each other because you can't just throw them in the cage together or they'll kill each other. And they're all friends now. So we're one big happy family again.
So in your experience having these rats, for a person who might be thinking, I'm looking on the SPCA Tampa Bay webpage, they have rabbits. I think the other day we had a weasel, rats. Oh. Would you recommend a rat as a first-time pet, or probably go to somebody like you to get brushed up on how to take care of them? What would you recommend?
That's a really good question because as a kid, I did exactly that. I just showed up at a pet store and I adopted a rat. And I don't think I got as much information as I should have. I didn't even get 2, which is not great for them. Mind you, I was very, very young. I was not given a lot of information at the pet store. So unfortunately, in situations like that, you can just go grab a pet from the store and you don't always have all of the information that you would need. So in terms of rats, I'm going to just be very honest. They are a lot of work. Even though they are tiny, they are so smart. I am constantly being outsmarted by them. I have to set up barriers for them to come out and play, and they constantly find a way around them. So they need a lot of time to come out of their cage. They need a lot of space. They need a lot of socialization. I give them a lot of snacks. They can also, but they're also fun because you can teach them tricks. You can give them like fresh food, like fruit. And I know they can eat like chicken and stuff like that. So I don't want to discourage people from ever adopting them because they are so much fun. They are honestly, I love them so much. But they are not just a pet that you can just go out and grab and then everything work out fine. They do require a lot of maintenance, a lot of money if you're willing to spoil them, and a lot of space. They have a huge rat mansion, probably bigger than what would equate to my bedroom space. But yeah, they're a lot of work, but they are the absolute sweetest souls ever.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Now you mentioned a key word that we've been talking about a lot here lately: money, day of giving. To run an animal shelter and a pet hospital, you need a lot of help from the community. I mean, we share a lot with our food bank and helping the community, helping people and pets. How did you gravitate toward our mission so quickly after adopting the rats from us? What kind of struck a nerve with you to like, hey, look, I'd like to reach out and help?
Sure. Yeah. So I have always been they're squeaking behind me. I've always been such a huge animal advocate. I even have tattoos right here. I've got an orca on my wrist. In high school, volunteered. My service hours was at the Humane Society. So I've always just been really hands-on, and I love to work with animals and do things for the community that involve animals. So when I found out that you guys were having an upcoming campaign, especially when it's almost Thanksgiving, it's almost the holidays, so it's a perfect time to get involved and do help for the community, especially if that means that I can help animals. And my rats were in the exact situation a couple months ago. They were in the shelter, and I just want to be able to help out in any way that I can. And I know that help from the community is so important and so vital in keeping the animals at your shelter safe and just well taken care of. And that's really important to me.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you sharing that message, of course, with a lot of your influencers and followers. When my staff came to me and they said, you need to talk about Snerixx and her 8 million followers, I said, run that number by me again. How do you get 8 million followers? That is amazing. How did all of this start for you? Was it like one day you just wake up and go, you know what, I'm going to make this video, or you make a video and all of a sudden you're like, how did that happen?
Well, kind of a little of both, because as a kid, I was always into making videos. I went to college before I changed my major. I was actually a film major. So I was always kind of dabbling in film. And then, of course, in 2020, when the pandemic hit and we were all home doing nothing, I downloaded TikTok and I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to make some stupid videos. I'm just going to put myself out there. I'm not doing anything else. So I just kind of put some stuff out there. I had some people that kind of influenced the type of videos that I wanted to make. And all of a sudden I woke up after putting out a video and I had about 10,000 followers, and that was from maybe like 13. So it kind of jumped up overnight. And it was really crazy. It's still very crazy. The number 8.5 million is, I can't even process that number. So it is kind of an overnight thing, but it happened overnight. But then I did continue working over the past 2 years to try and maintain that and try to kind of branch out and do other things. So it's been crazy.
Do you ever include I wasn't able to binge watch because I know some of the critics out there were like, if you want to binge watch, they're like, watch this channel. And I started to get I'm like, I have to stop.
Yeah.
I find that you're very, very, very funny and very creative. What about, do you ever do any with animals and trying to take it to a different level to see if that resonates with the audience?
Yeah, so I have included my dog. Her name online is Beans, but her real name is Carmen. So I've included Beans in some of my videos. And actually, my rats have been in, I want to say 2. Okay. I did one, it was just a parody video, and it was a situation where somebody was ordering food from a restaurant, and I kind of did a ratatouille twist to it. So I had a rat on my shoulder acting like they were the ones running the kitchen. And it was just supposed to be a silly, cute little video, but a lot of people responded to it and thought it was pretty funny. So I think I have another video with them, and I cannot think right now of what it is, but I have put them in videos before, and it does require a lot of reinforcement. So we have a ton of cookies and snacks on the side, so I can just constantly give them treats, because I'm not going to make them or force them to do anything that's ridiculous for the sake of TikTok. So I kind of just let them, if they don't want to do it, I don't make them do it. But if I can get them doing something, I'll throw them in there. I love to include them. And honestly, the audience loves to see them. So I try and throw them in as much as I can.
Well, our audience loves to see adoptable animals and on our program. So before I let you go, a couple more questions. One being, how would you encourage someone to donate today or tomorrow to SPCA Tampa Bay or their favorite animal shelter? I get it. There's a lot of us in this area that do ask for donations and do need a lot of help. And then the second question would be, if somebody happens to be watching, they're like, I want to start my own channel. How do they do it?
Sure. Okay. So first question, if you're wondering why you should, donate money, how you can pick kind of who to support, I would say that if you are looking at the SPCA, you're probably an animal lover. So you probably have a good idea of what goes into taking care of animals. And if not, everyone kind of has a soft spot for animals. At least I would hope so. So if you're looking to help animals and you kind of know at least how to take care of your own dog, just think about maybe all of the dogs that are in a situation where they don't have that kind of love. And, you give your dog a treat and that's fine. But then there's 100 other dogs that are sitting in a shelter that aren't getting that same care. And it's not because the volunteers don't care or anything like that. It's just because having a home and having your family around you is totally a different thing. So especially with the holidays coming up, and if you just are looking to, maybe support some fuzzy faces or some furry or scaly faces, I think the SPCA would be a really great option because they do care so much about their animals. I can tell you single-handedly experiencing just going through the adoption process. It was very straightforward. It was very obvious that they care about the animals. So if you want to put your money somewhere where you know that they will go towards a good cause and go towards someone that needs it, SPCA, I would 100% recommend. Second question, how would you want to start a channel or how would you want to start your own social media? My advice would be to just do it. And I know that sounds so simple and so easy. And of course, it's easier said than done. But if you have a talent or even a thought or a skill or just something that you want to share, just share it because you never know who it's going to reach and who's going to relate to it. And sometimes we get caught seeing other people online and being like, oh, I don't look like that, or I don't have that skill, or I don't have that voice or that talent. And there is obviously on the internet, there is maybe a specific thing that people think you need to do, but the internet is so big and the internet is so full and has room for everyone. So if you're thinking that you want to just put yourself out there, just put yourself out there. And if you don't get 1 million views in the first video, that's okay, because I sure as heck did not do that. It took a while. It took a lot of trial and error. And if it's something that you truly care about and you are in it for wanting to share your talent and not so much becoming famous, I have all the faith that you will be successful.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that and for being on our SPCA Tampa Bay For All podcast. And you helped us spread the Humanimality and for getting the word out there about the Day of Giving. You have definitely been, hopefully, a long-term influencer and ambassador for it in the future.
Yeah, well, hopefully, yes. And all the best luck to Xena and all the other animals out there. I sincerely hope you guys find a good home. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, Sam. Our staff does a great job. There you go, folks. There's Snerixx. Head over to her channel, but you probably already have if you have 8 million followers. She was awesome. Okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of today's program, and that is our Day of Giving. That's what we have been talking about for several weeks, and with a preview and how your money can go to work here at our shelter in the pet hospital. Let's start it off with Kristen Davis, our marketing director, with more.
Tomorrow is a very special day at SPCA Tampa Bay. It is our annual Day of Giving. If you aren't familiar with the Day of Giving, we have this campaign every year to provide funding that we need to care for over 7,000 animals that come through our doors each year. What makes the Day of Giving extra special is all donations made today are doubled by our sponsors, so your donation will go even farther. $1 becomes $2, $5 becomes $10, so we have even more funding to care for our animals like Stewie. Stewie's been with us since July, so every day that he's here costs the shelter X amount of money, which you'll learn as we go through our shelter today, and we'll talk about all the different levels that your money provides.
This day of giving, your $25 donation will go towards 1 week of high quality food, species specific. So here we have Xena, and she's been in our care for about 2 months now. And as you can do the math, you can see that 2 months of food can add up the price, and $25 only covers the food, not all of the care that our animals require. So your $25 donation will significantly impact the lives of our animals here, help them to get high quality food that, like Hills Pet Nutrition, that's what we feed our dogs here, that will help them to have a great start to their new lives and keep them nice and healthy. So if you're interested in adopting Xena, she is available. You may not see her when you come walking through our shelter because she is being office fostered upstairs in our education building, but she is available. So as long as you see her on the website, she is ready to find her forever home. She knows basic commands like sit and lay down. She's a really sweet girl and can't wait to find her new family.
For $50 a day, you can help us care for our injured and orphaned wildlife. We mostly work with baby squirrels, possums, some bird species, but we pretty much take in everything, and if we don't work with it, we know rehabbers who do. With our orphans, which is mostly what we get in, we do have to bottle feed them pretty regularly. They're all on different feeding schedules based on how big they are. So these guys are both on 4 times a day right now and getting one of those feedings. And then they also will stay in our incubator because they can't regulate their own body temperature yet. So we have to keep them on heating pads constantly so that they can stay warm. And then once they start getting bigger, we move them into our juvie room. We give them more space to run around. We give them little hidey houses and little hammocks to help hide in and to help stimulate those behaviors of hiding upwards. And we place their food on the bottom so that they can learn how to forage and then move upwards like they would outside. For our birds, we do things that are very similar. They stay in here and also on our incubator while they still need heat. And we keep them in little makeshift nests that we use until they're ready to move into a bigger habitat as well, with branches for them to perch on and all sorts of things to help stimulate that natural behavior for them as well. Possums are similar to squirrels. Again, they have to stay in the incubator, and then when we do move into the juvie room, they also get lots of hidey things to help stimulate that kind of behavior as well. Tomorrow, for our day of giving, we will be doubling all donations that are given to us, so your $50 will go even farther.
This day of giving, your $100 donation will go towards a spay or neuter, as well as a microchip for one of our shelter animals. We have Bugs here. He has received a neuter as well as a microchip, which not lots of people realize here at our shelter. We actually provide those services for our rabbits, in addition to thousands of cats and dogs every year. So your donation will go to help thousands of cats and dogs and rabbits get the medical procedures that they need. And tomorrow, on the day of giving, your gift will actually be doubled to help twice as many animals, thanks to our generous sponsors.
Awesome. Camille, great job there with Bugs and Xena. And we got to give it up for Corinne. She gets the multitasker award. She is there doing her job with those baby squirrels and at the same time delivering why you should help support SPCA Tampa Bay and especially the wildlife program. And as they mentioned, remember all gifts and donations tomorrow will be doubled. So 25 magically becomes 50, 50 magically becomes 100. One more number to throw out. For example, if Xena has been here or any other animal has been here for 8 weeks, $25 a day in managing their care, their enrichment, volunteer services thrown in there as well. That equals over 8 weeks about $1,400. So when a lot of folks are asking, where do our donations go, you can see that the need is there just based on that donation. So instead of buying Starbucks every day for 5 days, how about $25 in donations? All right, we would not be able to have this day of giving without all of our sponsors, but especially our two big presenting sponsors. We'll take a quick 30 seconds or more break and come back with more.
Every time you feed your pet Hills, you help feed a shelter pet, which helps make them healthy, happy, and more adoptable, changing their life forever so they can change yours. Science did that.
CenterGrid provides cloud and end-user computing services. Our goal is to provide customers with innovations that enable and defend their workforce. The SPCA Tampa Bay serves an important community function.
And welcome back to the For All podcast. My name is Eric Keaton. We've been talking about our For All shelter located in Largo, but now we're going to rainbow and talk about the pet hospital down in St. Pete. And to do that, we send it down to Amanda Corzat and the rest of the team talking about more donations and how it helps and the type of services that we provide to the community.
Here we have some foster kittens that are currently being cared for at SPCA Tampa Bay. This day of giving, keep in mind that $250 is the cost to care for a litter of kittens. We do provide the foster families with everything that they need as far as formula and any supplies and medical care that they require for their foster babies. So this day of giving, your $250 will be doubled, which means that it can take care of 2 litters of babies, like these little ones right here. These guys were brought in a few weeks ago to our St. Pete Vet Center location on 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. And they actually went on quite the voyage before arriving there at the vet center. These kittens were actually found in a large piece of construction equipment that was brought up from Sarasota. So they traveled all the way from Sarasota to St. Pete before they were discovered, and their tiny little mews were heard. And a Good Samaritan, someone that was working on the site, he and his crew found these little babies and brought them in, and they were very concerned about their welfare. So we were able to have the doctor take a look at them, check them out, make sure they were healthy, and then send them over to our shelter where they awaited foster care. They were in our care for a little bit here at the shelter before going to a foster home. And as you can see, they're thriving. They're healthy little babies, but it's a lot of work to take care of these little guys. It's a great expense. So keep in mind that if you were to donate $250 this day of giving, that amount would be doubled and take care of twice as many babies.
Your $500 donation pays for 1 day of shelter medical needs, like for Honey here, who came to us and had a retained baby tooth that hadn't fallen out, and she's 4 years old now, so that tooth is going to cause problems if we leave it in. So we sedated her today and we took the tooth out, and she's got pain medications and antibiotics on board so that she can heal up and have a healthy mouth. We also have kittens over here that had spays and neuters today so that they can go up for adoption and not have to contribute to pet overpopulation. So they will be ready to go up today or tomorrow. And then we also have dogs back over here. So these dogs went through spay-neuter surgery today. A lot of these dogs from today came to us as transfers from other counties in Florida that don't have the resources that we have. And so we are able to spay and neuter these animals and provide heartworm treatment for some of them so that they can go up for adoption and be happy pets in our community.
You, Dr. Pindar and Amanda, talking about fostering and some of the shelter services that we provide. I was getting ahead of myself. Those folks are here at the shelter in Largo. We're not quite at the vet center yet, but now we will be talking a little bit about our Caldwell Keeping Families Together Fund. Let's hear from 2 years ago. We had this story on our Day of Giving when it was called Paw It Forward with Emily and Ty. Emily was talking about the services of the Caldwell Keeping Families Together Fund and how it helped her take care of her pet.
And they were just really nice and able to help me, and I could call last minute and they would get him in, and they just really take good care of him. He's like their little baby. Now when he goes, like, they'll bring him and he'll sit on their lap at their desk, and they'll take pictures and send him and be like, Ty's doing okay. I was having problems paying for everything, and I tried to do the care credit or something like that, and I didn't get approved. She told me about the foundation, and if I have these certain things and I could bring them in. Just couldn't keep up. She offered this, asked me to fill it out. I got approved, and now I can take him whenever. Even if he gets like an eye infection, I still can take him and afford to go.
Okay, there you have it from Ty and Emily. Ty passed away recently, and Emily and Ty are always part of our story. They were great advocates for SPCA Tampa Bay, the pet hospital, and also the For All shelter. Okay, remember, tomorrow, Day of Giving, on November 10th, you can get all the information from our webpage. You go there, we're going to have all kinds of pop-ups. You just can't get away from it at all. And we also have a very special visit. If we have a Day of Giving, we have to have Charlie Belcher and the Fox team. So usually in the past, we've had them at Largo, but now they are going to be in St. Pete at the pet hospital. We're waiting on one more story to get to with the vet center. Oh, we have it now. We got the thumbs up. Let's go back to the vet center now and learn more about how they contribute to the community and how you can help the mission.
Hi, and welcome to the SPCA Tampa Bay Veterinary Center here in St. Petersburg. You may not realize that in addition to our Largo For All shelter location, we do have a public vet center here in St. Pete on 5th Avenue North. Our public vet center is open to the community. We see cats and dogs. And what you may not know is that our vet center actually helps to support the operation of our shelter. So by visiting the vet center with your pet, getting your annual vaccines updated, heartworm tests, visit, things like that, the proceeds are actually going to help care for the animals over at our shelter. And if you do adopt a cat or a dog from our shelter location, we actually do provide a free visit here at the vet center, so you can bring them here, and we love seeing our SPCA Tampa Bay alumni. We've had a couple come through recently, like Hatcher, who's 10-year-old sweetheart. He was at the shelter for almost 6 months before he was recently adopted and found his forever family. Rocco also came through recently. He was at the shelter for several months. He's such a sweet, energetic boy, and he has found his match made in heaven. So it was wonderful to see him here and happy with his new family. So keep that in mind this Day of Giving, that if you make a donation, your donation will be doubled. So that's doubling your impact, whether you want to make that donation here at the vet center in St. Pete or through our Largo location. We also have a phone number hotline, text to give, QR codes. There's so many ways to donate. Thanks so much.
One other way to donate is to just drive by the For All shelter, the pet hospital, and just donate in person as well. We'd love to see you. And if you're not able to, because of the economy right now, we also have other ways that you can help out. It's the old cliche or saying, time, treasure, talent. If you'd like to volunteer, just go to our website and ways to get involved, and you can get all the information about how to become a volunteer as well. All right, so what is breaking or barking news? It's not going to be that dadgum storm out there called Nicole. No, she's staying away because tomorrow's the Day of Giving, and these sponsors that are going to be flashed on your screen have helped match your gift on November 10th. It gets started early. We've had great folks, some of our own staff members. We've had two-time Tony Award winner Dale Badway, an ambassador, and Colleen Cherry help us out on delivering some of those stories. You're going to see them all over social media and also on the network affiliate TV. Please pick up the phone or scan with your QR code or go online. We'd love the assistance. Again, taking care of 7,000 animals, whether they are your typical cats or dogs, or the wildlife that you saw Karin in the Multitasker of the Year award earlier. The staff really does a lot from here to the pet hospital. I believe we've covered just about everything. Thank you to Hills and CenterGrid. We really appreciate your presenting sponsorship. You guys do so much with the Shelter Love Program and CenterGrid here helping us stay nice and secure. Final message, Tropical Storm Nicole, stay away. And you guys keep it glued right here tomorrow. Go to our social media channels because our team will have updates throughout the day with Facebook Live, giving you updates on how much donations are coming in. And remember, you can also get that information on our website. Everybody did a wonderful job. Thanks to the team for contributing with all the stories. We open up at 1 o'clock. So let's get Xena and some of those animals that you saw on the 4 All podcast. Let's find them a forever home as well. Thanks for watching.